Mark is a legend in his own right, and we sat down and we literally came up with the idea in the pub for Secret Service. And I said, who's going to draw it? And he said, well, should we try and get Dave Gibbons? There aren't many people who are famous in their own right for being a comic book artist. Christopher Nolan's favourite comic book drawer is Dave Gibbons. Damon Lindelof collects him, so he's we're very lucky to have him.
Oh my God, Dave is my absolute hero, right? And I'll tell you, I'll give you 2 examples. When I was 17, I queued for 4 hours to get Dave's autograph. And he was coming to Glasgow. He'd just done Watchmen, which, for people who don't know who are watching this, Watchmen is still the biggest selling graphic novel of all time. It came out in 1986, 87. And it's still, all these years on, the biggest selling graphic novel ever. So he was touring to promote the book. And I got maybe 15 seconds with him, but I went home delighted. And he did me a very quick sketch as well, which I still have. I had it up in my room for ages. And I wrote him a letter about a year later.
Mark wrote me a fan letter when he was 17 years old. I was a little older than that at the time. And he told me that the best thing to do for my career was to work with him.
I was like one of those mad X Factor contestants, that says, I want to be Beyonce, it was like that kind of thing. And I was saying, oh, you should come and work with me, I'm going to be a massive writer and everything.
And I've got no memory of it. I wrote him back a very polite letter and sent him a sketch and said, yeah, thanks, but perhaps not now, maybe in the future. And
I've still got it, and it was so exciting just getting to know Dave over the years, and we became friends when I was in my 20s, and by the time I was in my 30s, I began to sort of establish a career for myself.
By which time I'd become a huge fan of his, with the work that he'd done on things like the Ultimates and stuff like that.
And Dave was saying, oh, we should maybe do something at some point, and then all these years later, we finally did.